Assalamualaikum everyone. I hope you had a great weekend. I am a couple of minutes late. I apologize. If you can hear me, we can begin immediately. Can you put yes in the chat box? And I have a poll for everybody attending. So if you guys could please answer the poll, that would really help me. Um, let's see who's here. Farida. This topic is very important to my heart because I don't know if you know about me. I deal with kids. I am a pediatrician. I work in academia, and this is a topic which is very close to my heart. When we think about financial freedom, we are only thinking about money. Um, with financial freedom, we never think about that it allows us to say no, which is a huge part, especially for women. It doesn't depend on, it really doesn't matter which race you belong to. Women in general have a tendency to be people pleasing because that's how we are raised. We are raised to keep a barometer of how other people are feeling and sometimes get into situations that we do not want to get into. But with your own money or having a dignified amount of money of your own, you can say no to situations which make you feel uncomfortable. And I think this is a part that I really want to highlight. When you think about wealth, think about the dignity it brings to you. Think about the dignified retirement. Think about not depending on anyone. And even in our religion, we are told to work hard and ask Allah and not depend on anyone. And there's numerous du'as in the Quran of us not to depend on anyone and us praying to Allah that we are never dependent on any human being. So let's begin. Of course, the disclaimer is that all information is for educational purposes only. No client relationship is assumed and no tax advice is given, even if it is solicited. I always start with the istiyada, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, and with Hazrat Musa's dua, Rabbi shahri sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. I began my business. Uh, it's rooted in the teachings of Surat Asr, and a lot of people ask me, why do I mention this? It's because where there is money, there's a lot of greed. And in Surah Asr, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds us that everybody is in a loss except for people who are guiding you to patience and guiding you to good advice. I want to stay rooted, and my business, I want everything around me and everything I do to be rooted in this, that if I give you bad advice, I am one of those people who are losers. So this is for me. This is to remind me that everything I do has to be great advice. And I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that if it is not applicable to you, He erases it from your mind, and whatever is beneficial to you, you guys are able to retain it. Let's see, Anam and Sarah. Guys, if you can hear me, can you put a yes in the chat box? We are about to begin, and there is a poll. I would really appreciate if you can answer it in the chat as well. It really helps me. I think Tanzia is the only one who has answered. So thanks a lot for helping me out with the poll. Okay, let's begin. So the question always comes, why should you listen to me? I have been an investor for the past 10 years. A lot of people told me that I should stay in my lane, and I am a physician and I should not learn something new. And I defied everybody because financial advice in Islam is extremely nuanced. It's a very expensive thing. And also, it's really, how can I put it um, in a language that can be publicly used. So it's not black and white, just and you can read in between. So a lot of people are not fiduciary. For people who are not familiar with what is not fiduciary, that means that people are not everybody who's out there to give you financial advice is going to do it in your best interest, and they cannot be held accountable. You are responsible for seeking out financial advice that is applicable to your situation. Number two, financial advice can be extremely expensive, and if you don't know exactly what you want or why are you seeking that financial advice, you can pretty much pay somebody, but they cannot help you because you don't know where to go or you don't know where you're going. So they don't know which path to tell you to go or take. Number three is I've made all the mistakes on your behalf, so you guys do not need to make the mistakes that I have made. I come from a family of investors, and that too scrappy investors. I had very extremely wealthy relatives, and I had extremely poor relatives. And between both of them, the difference was investing and financial literacy. So this is extremely, because I have seen everything in the spectrum and in between, and I work with teens and kids. I know the importance of this education, which is not, I mean, if you have been to school, or you have been to college, or if you have kids going to school and colleges, this is not what is taught in schools and colleges, and this is not a part of the curriculum, and nobody thinks this is important. And so we have people, and in the United States itself, we have trillions of dollars of debt because people don't know how to use their credit cards and debit cards and how to leverage the economy in their favor, and they are making the banks richer. So we are going to reverse this process, and we're going to use this $1 trillion economy into our favor, making us wealthy and not just the banks, CEOs, paychecks fatter. I have also cultivated relationships with people who get the first dibs of things that have the potential to explode. One of the things that exploded this year, if you know anything about artificial intelligence, that alone has made me $70,000 and more. I could have really made more money if I had millions of dollars to invest, but that's an impressive number to sit in your house and have something that you can passively invest, um, can allow you. Okay, and I also provide a financial consultation service that I have run for years now, which is affordable. And my advice is to benefit you 100%, because I do not take commissions. Every time you take commission and you are charging your client, you are forced to sell them something that is not going to work for them. That is how commissions work. And a lot of us have been burned by the finance industry because we went to somebody who was working on commissions, and they sold us something that was not beneficial for us. So just keep these things in mind. And like I said, I have made the mistakes for all of us, so we don't need to replicate them. We need to learn from them. Financial literacy is directly proportional to body autonomy, which simply means the more money you have of your own, the more you're able to say no. Um, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Maslow's triangle. It's a hierarchy of needs, and the basic human needs are for food, shelter, um, to be in a to belong somewhere. And so if you're not scared of being left homeless, hungry, and helpless, you have the power to say no. Why do I mention this? Is because you and I are not going to be alive forever. The kids around us, and even, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. If you do not want to be in a compromised situation, you need to take your finances seriously, because if you are ever in a situation where you think your dignity is being compromised, if you do not have your finances squared away, you are not going to be able to leave. This is why we have human trafficking, we have prostitution, we have child abuse, and we have domestic violence, and this is rampant all across nations and cultures and races and religion, because women do not have their own money. And anybody, be it a man, a woman, a child, an older person who is dependent on another human being, it has never ended up being in their favor. So just consider all of this when you are thinking about financial investment. Think of it as a big deal, because it is a big deal. It's extremely empowering, and it's a big deal. So again, financial literacy will allow your child to say no when they're compromised. As I said, it's easier to move out of a domestic violence situation if you are not worried that you're going to end up begging or you're going to be compromised. Money used to manipulate people all the time. As you can know, money can buy anything. You can bribe people. And in order for you not to be manipulated, used, harassed, you need your own money. I have worked in peds ERs, and the things I have seen, I really wish I could unsee them. Um, Even working as a physician, both here and back in Pakistan, it's harrowing. And if you boil everything down, if you strip everything apart, everything comes down to money. The abuser has always used their position of power, and most of the time, like I said, not 100%, because nothing is 100%, most of the time That abuse is coming from a place of power, and power is coming from a place of financial dependence. The abuser is almost always in a financially powerful position. So think about it. Now, we've given enough of why should we do it. Where should we start? If you have spare change, you can invest. I want you guys to, if you guys go with anything today, I want you to kick the all or nothing mentality. A lot of people come to me. I have now over 150 families that have consulted with me. Everybody, including myself, we are guilty of a perfectionist mindset in which we're like, if I don't have thousands of dollars, if I don't have all of my debt paid off, I cannot invest. We need to kick this mentality. Why? Because in investing, time is king. It is not the amount of money you're going to put in, it is the amount that you are consistently putting in over time. Most wealthy people start their kids accounts when they're born. It does not matter if you have $10, $1, $5. If you have anything you can spare and you can put it consistently in your child's account, in your account, in whoever's account, that account is going to grow. And so we're going to take a closer look at how is this possible. So this is my favorite tool. It is the compound interest calculator. It is on the US government's website. So this is not something that I made up. I'm gonna share my screen and I'm gonna show you the power of investing spare change. So if you can see my screen, if you guys can see my screen, can you put a yes so that I can start? Sarah, have has everybody answered the poll? And can you see my screen? Sarah, this is where I see the polls, and if people have not answered, guys, can you please answer? This is how it looks like. Only 2 people have answered. Okay, let's go to the compound interest calculator. So I can't see you guys right now. I'm gonna do this so that I can see you guys as well. Okay, I am gonna make the screen a little smaller. Where is the corner? So this is, it doesn't benefit you if you are not tech savvy. I'm trying to bring the screen here so that I can see you guys as well. But I don't know if I can do it. So if you can see the screen, it's fine. Okay, now I can see you and the screen. Okay, perfect. So for example, if you have a kid or if you are starting investing yourself and you just have $50, okay? It's not a big amount. It's not something that is life-changing, but I'm going to show you how it can literally convert. This $50 is going to convert into almost $1 million when your kid retires. And so you started with a $50 investment when your kid was born. You decided to put $50 in an account, in a child account. And so you, every month you put $50 in that kid's account. So let's see what's going to happen in the first 20 years. So the interest rate. So now here, this is what trips people. Guys, please understand, this is not your traditional interest. This is, now how to explain it in simple terms, this is not the interest that is riba, which is not allowed in Islam. Okay, this is how the market works. If you buy the Apple stock, which is $10 today, it is not $10. Please do not grab my words. I'm just giving you an example. Any stock that is $10 today and the company grows, its earnings increase, it becomes increasingly successful. The more successful a business or a company is, the higher its stock or its share price is going to get. And so if you bought something for $10 and in the next 20 years that stock is valued now at $500, you remember you bought it at $10, so you are now in $490 in a positive, which is literally close to 40% increase, or it's a 40% increase, right? I think so. So that's how you make money in the stock market. So please don't confuse it with, oh, this is riba. So this is not the traditional, what they mean. This is not the traditional interest. And so the estimated interest rate, the market generally grows at 10%, but I'm going to subtract 2% from it because we have to account for inflation. For people who don't know what is inflation, inflation is simply that the cost of living is, it's getting more expensive to live in this world, and it grows by 2% every year. And so when people tell me, including my own husband, darling, who told me that I have money in my account and I'm safe and everything. So every time you have money in your checkings account, subtract 2% from it. If you have 200,000 every year, it's going to go down in value for 4,000. So it's not beneficial to put your money into the bank. And because we don't have any saving accounts as Muslims, we have checking account. It's worse for us, but just remember, there is no savings account which is going to compare to the market, just so you know. So let's do at 8%, and let's compound it. So let's see what it began. So it seems like it isn't impressive, right? You invested 12,000 over 20 years, and you were comfortable doing it because you invested $50 every single month. The account grew to a meagerly 27,000. This is where people get really disappointed. When I saw this first time, I was like, I mean, seriously, it just almost doubled. But I mean, I was so disappointed because Warren Buffett once said that people do not become rich because they do not want to become rich slowly. So if you did not invest that $50, you would not even have $27,000. Look at it this way. But I don't want you to be disappointed, because this 20 meagerly 27,000 is going to make your child a millionaire. So remember this figure, 27,690. So now your child is 20 years old. Mommy, daddy, grandfather, uncle, aunt, whoever was, they were patient. They listened to my advice. They believed in what I was saying. And now he has $27,690 in their account. And so monthly, now this child starts contributing $100 every single month. Excuse me, guys. So every month he contributes, or she contributes $100. Again, so now they're 20, and another to the retirement age is 40, 60 years in the United States. So in the next 40 years, let's see where this $27,000 is going to take them. So do you see the power of investing? When your child is retiring in the next 40 years, investing only $100 a month, and you grew the $50 to $27,000, they contributed only $75,000 over the next 40 years, and the market did its magic, and they have $912,000, close to $1 million. And once they're retired and they keep this for another year or two, this money is gonna grow into $1 million. So when you look at this 27,000, it doesn't seem as anything, right? When you look at this figure, you're disappointed. But you, in one single generation, you can change the financial trajectory of your children, of your family, just if you stick to the plan. Remember, we did not increase the amount of contribution a lot. We did not need thousands of dollars. The mom, dad, grandfather, uncle, aunt began with only $50. The child, when they started earning, they increased it to $100. And look, they invested so little, and the market grew it to close to $1 million. So I don't know if it doesn't impress you. This is the most life-changing, impressive thing I have ever encountered. And when I encountered this close to 10 years ago, it was life-changing for me. I did not care what people said about me. I started investing. So um, how about when my kids are in college? How can I invest? Sarah, I don't understand. Do you mean, do you want to keep investing for them, or do you want to invest for yourself? Can you clarify the question? So again, which account to invest in? It depends on your end goal. Are you investing for college, or you generally want to them to retire as a millionaire? Will your child or teen invest their earned income, or are you investing on their behalf? Because different, there are so many options and accounts that you can invest in, and so all of these things need to be answered when you are choosing an investment account for your kid. Many accounts for minors can be opened at birth. Length of time investing is greater than the amount invested. So basically, like I showed you, how much you're investing, Tanzia, that's another topic, and I we will probably get to it. It's a very huge topic, guys. Tanzia is saying, where do you invest? So you have to answer these questions before we even get there. So there are many. I mean, you showed examples for kids are very young. What about if they're already adults? I want to invest for them. So again, you can begin, Sarah. That's the thing. We have to kick the all or none mentality. I was just showing you the power of the stock market. You can literally begin right now and invest in the same manner, and it will, it will increase. The reason why I showed you that what the stock market does when your kids are younger is the time. The longer you invest, the less money you need to make $1 million. If you have if you want to retire early, for example, the earlier you begin investing, the less money you have to put in an account. But if you are investing later in your life, you will have to put more money to invest early, or you can again keep investing, keep it low, but begin somewhere, kick the all or none mentality. I'm sorry, my kid just woke up. Just give me 1 second. Let me hand her over to my husband, and I will be right back. Okay, I am back. I want to invest for the grad school, like med school. So, Sarah, you can begin investing. You can go to this calculator. I'm going to send a replay, and I can actually copy paste this for you. So you can find out how much you need for their med school, and then put in the amount. So this is the calculator. You can click, anybody can click on it and play with it, guys. It's a really nice tool to motivate you to invest. So you can click it, and then you can put in the amount you need, and then you can see how much you will be needing to invest every year or every month to get to that goal, depending on how far along you are or how young your kids are. The issue is that you might not be able to cover all of their expenses, but imagine if you're able to do 10, 20, 30, 40%. It's much better than them taking student loans for 100% loan, right? So we have to kick the perfectionist mentality out. You need to move forward, and so start investing right now. That's my 2 cents to you, and that is why I showed you this whole compound interest calculator. It's not how much you are investing, which people are like, I don't have money. Everybody has spare change. And so it's not about how much you're investing, it's about how consistently you're investing and when do you start. Are you beginning? Are you just going to think and waste another year or two, and then you will ultimately have to you will never be able to catch up. um, I think you can pull mutual funds, Sarah. I don't know if you're confusing it with an IRA. So you cannot pull funds from a retirement fund. You can always pull money from mutual funds. There is no penalty. You can trade them like stocks. Yeah. The only thing you cannot pull out money from is a retirement fund, but you're not doing that anyway. Okay. So I think we discussed this. What is your end goal? Are you investing for college versus them to retire as a millionaire? Is your child or teen going to be investing with their own money? Many accounts can be opened at birth. And like I said, length of time is greater than the amount invested. And so you have to begin today. All investment accounts have zero minimum to open. So you cannot tell me that you're not beginning because something is going to happen. You can literally open an account and have no money in it. They do not have a minimum requirement. Like some banks have a minimum requirement. Oh, you have to put $100 to open this bank account. Most um, investment accounts for minors or for anybody have no minimum. You can literally open it and start playing with it. The reason why I tell you to open that account is so that it reminds you to put money in it. It reminds you that you need to begin investing. So there's no excuse. There's no minimum. You can begin in any account. There are many brokers online. You can open an account with Charles Schwab, Fidelity, Vanguard. It does not matter which platform are you choosing. They're all the same. They're mostly the same. It doesn't matter. You just begin. It's no risk to you. So my question to you is, why are you not? What are you waiting for? If there's a zero minimum, you guys can put in the chat. It could be, let's speak about it. Let's speak our fears out so that I can answer them. If there is no minimum to open this account and it reminds you and how beneficial it can be, what is your fear? I can literally think of nothing if I have to put no money in. There is literally zero risk for you opening an account. But there is a lot of loss on the other hand if you don't open this account, if you delay it, if you think you're gonna do it some other day. That day is never gonna come. You have to make time. So again, so Bank of America, I don't know, I'm sure they have an investing side. I'm not a particular fan of banks just because how their business is run. You can open an account with Bank of America. I'm sure they have an investing side, but I'm not familiar with it because I don't prefer to open investing accounts with banks because that is not their specialty. I would, why not open with Fidelity or Vanguard or Charles Schwab, which are platforms for investing? Tanzia. Why not do that? They are specialized platforms. They have specialized help. That is what they do day in and day out. So you can literally open an account with any of these investment brokers for no charge at all. I hope that answers the questions. But if you are comfortable opening it with Bank of America, I have nothing against them. It's just that because they're a bank, that is not what they do 100%. So I have an account with Fidelity and I just stick to it. I want to do business with people who know what they're doing. Okay, which stock or fund to buy inside the minor or child account? This is the second most commonly asked question. It depends. The first thing I want to tell you is that 529 or the college fund accounts are not halal. Simple reason being that they do not give you the whole variety of mutual funds or stocks to pick from, because these are state run college fund accounts. The accounts are the mutual funds or the bond. They are pre-selected and most of them have bonds. As you know, bonds are not halal investments in Islam, and so 529 college funds are not halal. And there are alternatives to 529s, and that's another huge topic. But this is something I am just trying to tell you guys because a lot of parents do not know that 529. I have not yet come across any 529 that is halal, just because it's state led and the states do not generally care about what is halal and what is haram. We live in the US, They have their own system, and just something to be mindful about. And so you're restricted to what they have selected for you. You have to pick their mutual funds or whatever options that they have for you. And so because there are so many other minor accounts, to me this is nothing. If you don't have a college account, it's not a big deal. It's not a deal breaker for you. You can invest in any other more flexible minor account or a child account, and you're gonna be just fine. Some states do offer a match benefit, but that is for families who earn less than a certain amount per year. Again, it's not a big deal. They don't match a lot of money, so you're not losing out on a lot. But this is just information that is good for you to have. You can go onto your state's 529 website and you can do your own research. Okay, so what's next? I have a minor investing account in which I teach you the differences between all minor accounts. They are downloadable and they are printable PDFs. It teaches you how to open an account, what security to buy, how much to begin with. You can begin with $1. Like I told you, there is no minimum, so this is not a secret. You can begin with $1. They have no minimum requirement of investing $500. There is nothing like that. And then there are videos that you can watch on the go, and there are accompanying PDFs that are available to you for life. Why do I tell this to people? Because this is a huge topic that I have already converted into a course that sells like hotcakes. It is the most comprehensive course I have ever done, and because you see I am so passionate about it, it has helped over 100 families. And I think it's a really valuable resource because you can use it with your kids time and time again. It's the biggest gift. I update the IRS requirements. It's just easier for me to. I go into it yearly. Every year the IRS requirements change, you know. So you have this document that is going to be upgraded every single year. They are free for life. You get an update every single year. The IRS requirements, the child tax credit, everything in that is going to be upgraded, and you can use it for all kids. You know, it's a really, I think it's one of the best investments you can make for your family because you can use it literally for life, and it's a one-time payment. So if you guys are ready to begin, it's a one-time price of $147. It has 4 modules. It has PDF resources that you can download and consult. It has a private podcast, which means that you can listen on the go. I have ADHD, so I cannot sit on the computer all the time, and I have young kids. So when I listen to feedback, people are like, we really don't want to sit on video. Can you do a private podcast? And I did this for my initial students, and it has been really successful because people can literally listen to it as a podcast anywhere, anytime. They don't want to be in front of a video, or they can multitask simply. It is suitable for people in the US. A lot of people come buy the course and they realize that they are either in the UK or Canada. And so now I've made a clear disclaimer that this is for families living inside the United States, just so that it's clear to everyone. And then the child tax credit is a huge benefit. I work with my own accountant, and because I have 4 kids, I have literally paid everybody under the sun to teach me accounting, just so that I know what papers they're filing for me. And also because IRS has a lot of tax breaks for children, and especially for families who are filing as married. So this is another advantage. Every year I get an update, and I include this in the document. So let me send you guys the link. If you guys are interested, this is a really great resource that I think everybody should at least, have the opportunity to look through, because it has helped a lot of families. And this is something I'm really proud of too, just because it's so comprehensive. So you guys can look through it. And if you guys have any questions or concerns, you are always welcome to email me. For you guys joining for the first time, thank you so much. Only 3 people have answered the poll. Guys, if you can please, please, please answer the poll. It helps me a lot. Whoever is the two people who haven't answered, if you could please answer the poll that I have. It allows me to um, make the content which you want to see. It helps me educate you guys better. So yep, any questions, concerns, guys? We are over time because this was a really important topic. If you guys have any questions or concerns, I'm here to answer them. If not, we are going to sign out and you guys are going to get a replay, inshallah, tomorrow or next week. So let's see who is here. Anam, Farida, and Sara. Do you guys have any questions? Or any comments? Anything that came to your mind? If not, guys, then I am gonna say, Sara, if you are concerned about halal investments, you can. I don't know what your situation is, so I cannot answer this question in all honesty. But if you can put your email, I am more than happy to connect with you afterwards to give you a more comprehensive answer. This, I can't answer this without knowing your situation, how long you have invested, what is your state and everything. Um, so CDs are not halal. They are certificate of deposit. And I think they must remain untouched for the entirety of their term. They have higher interest rates than savings account, but they're not halal. Anything that just makes money on top of money without any risk is not halal. That is my understanding, Anam, but I can search into it more. According to my understanding, they're not. Any other questions, guys? If not, we can. Okay, Sarah, I have your email. Inshallah, I will email you back. Okay, perfect. Anam, if you want to put your email in, I can do more research into CDs, and I can also get back to you in depth. Vaiyaki, Sarah. Okay, perfect. I am gonna. So I will get back to you guys, inshallah. If you guys found this helpful, perfect. I'll see you next week. Assalamu alaikum.